So just arrived. We're gonna put the vehicle into park, turn it off, and engage the handbrake. And the handbrake falls after it's been engaged.
So that it's out of the way.
So that it's out of the way. Lift that up. Check all our clearances outside. You can lock the steps right here so that they stay off, and every time you go in and out of the door, they don't go in and out if you're parked for good. And then the first thing we're going to do is hit the auto level button, which will engage the jacks. We don't have to do that right now, but you hit this as long as you're semi-level, which most campgrounds are. You hit this, it does everything for you, and everything gets loaded up. The next thing I do, I'm not going to do it here, but walk around the vehicle, make sure before you put the slide out or the awning out that there's no obstructions, trees, water tanks, garbage cans,
picnic
tables in the way, especially if the slide, it's about 4 to 5 feet that it extends out. So everything's clear on that end. You can hook up power, which we will go through in a second here, but you want to run the generator or be plugged into shore power.
How do you know what power you're on right now?
Right now is this guy, which says we're on DC battery power. Here's AC plug-in, and the generator will treat it as AC plug-in. So to start the generator, click this. You wait for it to go through its setup. It says gen off. Click that. The generator is now on. It's got 32 up. Start the process of sliding out the slide. So make sure everything's out of the way. Make sure there's nothing that's gonna get trapped. There's a little garbage can up front here. Make sure this is out of the way so nothing's between here and the outside of the unit. And then here is your slide out control. You hit out, and you want to you don't want to stop midway. Let this go until the entire slide is out. The rubber gaskets are a little loud. And then I like to hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds after it's out. Here is your AC control and heat. This button here will, right now it's off. You can cycle through and it'll say cool low, cool high, heat low, heat high. Usually when we're running the air, we keep it on cool low almost all the time. Maybe if it's extremely warm when you first park, you can do cool high just to blow everything out. And then I'll let you go in here in the bathroom. The entire unit has all these switches with the lights and water pump, and so we'll turn on these lights. If you're not hooked up to water line in a campground, you would hit this water pump, but that water pump can just stay on. But once you hook up to city water or a hose at the campground, then you won't need that water pump. Shower, everything's very straightforward. There's a little button on here to turn it on and off, so that you can get your water temp accurate. And then if you want to get wet, and then just hit this button and turn it off while you soap up. If you're trying to save water, if you're on just your tanks, you can do that and then turn it back on. slides off. And there's a couple little hooks around here for different things, towel hooks. Toilet works like any RV toilet. If you hold the step down halfway, it'll fill, and then you go all the way and it'll flush. If you're hooked up at a campground, you do not want to leave the black tank, which will go through on the outside, but you don't want to leave your black tank open. You want to keep the tank closed when the tank's full, which you can read on the screen up front. Then you can go and release it. That way everything stays liquid and it doesn't build up. There's also a little hose behind here that you can use to clean and wash the toilet if needed. You turn on that hose the same way as just putting this foot pedal down halfway, and then there's a little squeeze trigger. So bed, once everything is out, is easy to put down. We usually move these pillows on these cushions. We like to take our hand and drag it across this Velcro, and then we usually just set the cushions right here. There's a button on this side that unlocks it. Give it a little pull. There we go. Legs. Pillows. You can pull the pillows out before lowering the bed too. You can even see them stuck in there. So the legs slide out on each side. This just folds over. And then the bed folds over. This will control your lights. There's also hookups for phones and outlets. So then when in the morning, to put this up and get your living room back, off to the side here. Flip this bed half over. This guy. Lift it. Legs back. And then just push it and you'll hear a slight little click where it catches there so it doesn't fall on you.
And the button to release is on the side of the sofa. It's hard to see.
These little ottomans that pull out and just come together.
Put the black piece in the bottom
This
so it
piece in the
stays
bottom
firm.
to keep it square. And then remote controls in this drawer here for the TV. And this TV comes out.
Go into the street. Protesters have to push into the street. Sheriff's Department down here.
There's also a remote for the stereo system over here. Fridge, drawers, storage. Fridge is on and cooling. The vacuum system is right here. You take this cap off. There's additional hoses and fittings in that cabinet. And then there's an on and off switch. The vacuum can use a lot of power. We should be good here with the lights, but if the air is running and multiple other things are all running at the same time, you can kind of overpower the electrical unit. And everything gets collected outside down below. There are extra paper towels down in there, pots and pans and dish towels. Sinks, real easy. These come off when you're using it. When you don't need it, you put them back in. Sometimes we'll leave it half open, something like that. So The range is very straightforward. On and off with the starter. Runs on propane. Move it to the light. Push this, and then it's good. Then you can adjust the flame down or lower. Move the flame. And off. This is the house control panel. You just touch it anywhere and it lights up. Has your tanks percentage here. We'll have the fresh water full. The gray and the black water will be empty. Has your house voltage. Has all your operations. You won't need tank heat. Entry is outside. Light. You can go to all the lights and control all the lights from right here. You can turn them all on and off with that. The awning has a light. There's a porch light, and then there's cargo light underneath for all your cargo tanks. And then your home screen is back. This here controls the window shade front. They usually don't go all the way up. I stop it about right there. It can kind of get caught up if it extends all the way up. And then the same thing coming down. I just stop it before it hits the bottom. You're good. Got the bunk here with the ladder that connects. And then the last thing that we'll look at in here, I think, will be these chairs. These chairs will spin around, but you want to pull them forward before you start the spin. And you might have to adjust that a little bit. You also want to make sure the back is not leaning back. You hold this. Spin around. Sit in it. It's easier to control. And then with this knob, you can get it into a comfortable position. You can see that the floor is a little too low in this configuration. And so underneath this couch, little additional seats, and you can kind of strap them on here so that they're permanent. They're just Velcro so it connects behind there. But then you have a normal height seat. There's also a stand with a tabletop underneath the couch for these seats. I think that covers it. So to pull the slide in, same kind of process as when we start. Make sure everything's clear and out of the way. Make sure the generator's on, or you have power plugged in from outside.
So are you saying never to move the slide on battery power?
Don't move the slide on battery power. It needs a little more power, and you don't want it to stop halfway through. Or so then you just click this in button. And then to turn the generator off, it's very simple. Just one hit of the on-off button here. And we are back on battery power because we are not plugged in outside here right now.